All right, so I was sitting here on a Friday with the day off, and I was thinking to myself, I don't know what to write about. So YouTube recommended this video to me on how everything is closed at night. Gyms stopped being 24 hours, Walmart stopped being 24 hours, and most people aren't out late at night anymore. A couple months ago, I was picking up someone at the airport at 4 o'clock in the morning. And it's the first time that I have been outside past midnight and before 8 a.m. in many, many years. The silence of driving my car through the city at night with everything being closed was a remarkable sensation because we were a 24-hour society until the bug hit. Then suddenly it just stopped. Just like that. One day, it was all gone. For the first few months during the bug, the Jack in a Box near my house basically became a makeshift shelter. When I would go by it at around 8 o'clock in the morning, for any reason, it was just full of homeless people. And it got so bad that they had to criminalize it, that they didn't want those people sitting inside of their restaurant. And I think that's really what did it. Because at around the same time, the Kroger's down the street from me got rid of their sit down diner area that was connected to the deli. All locations did the same thing. They didn't want those people lingering around in their businesses. And that's, in my opinion, that's the entire reason why we shut down 24-hour service. My local gym told me for a fact that they were tired of the homeless people being in the gym in the middle of the night because they had nowhere else to go. Can you imagine? You pay 20 bucks a month and you can just stay at the gym and they can't kick you out. You don't have to do anything. You can go swimming. You can do whatever you want. Basic housing, 20 bucks a month, they had to shut down. Well, the next idea it had was, let me look at it. I'm actually doing this live. The next idea ChatGPT had was I asked it to suggest a video idea for me. And it said that when I asked it specifically, can you suggest a popular topic for today's video? It suggested the video, America's Not Broke. Why this works? The economic pain is everywhere. Juneteenth just passed, and the opens a door to talk about labor history, economic injustice, and how America still profits off modern versions of slavery, like wage labor, tipping, and gig work. Modern feudalism, the disappearing middle class, why billionaires love chaos, the emotional toll of survival. None of those topics really spoke to me. So I was actually thinking about this morning while I was still rolling around in bed, was how did every job in America become a desperation job? No one would work the current jobs if they didn't have to. I know that after 3 days of doing what I currently do, I was done. I was absolutely done. But unfortunately, just like Astra wrote, the only comment she wrote yesterday was, I'm done with working. Why did she say this? Because she's been kicked out of the tech industry so many times. And she's out there driving for Uber Eats probably right now as I'm speaking. Because there's nothing else for her to do. There is no other job for her. And so I asked ChatGPT, how did every job in America become a desperation job? And this is what it said. You ever look around and wonder when working stopped meaning anything? Like seriously, when did every single job in America become a desperation job? I'm 25. I've had 12 jobs since I was 17. Fast food, receptionist, Amazon worker, call center, babysitting, waitressing, online gig stuff, dog walking, you name it. And every single one of them felt like a panic button. not a career, not a passion, just survival. And that's truly where we're all at right now. If you were to lose your job tomorrow because of a layoff, because every corporation is trying to cut every angle, and this is something that it said in the video previously, the late night one, is that every company figured out that they could just close down and run with the minimal amount of people with the maximum about amount of productivity. When I worked at Walmart, they always called it do more with less. So they were always trying to get you to do more work, and they kept hiring less and less and less. And it's been a trend that's been accelerating over the years. And so now no one in America should feel safe that they have a real job. And careers, give me a break. Pensions don't exist anymore. They've been replaced by 401ks that no one can afford to put money into. I don't have a thin dime of savings for retirement. And most people don't. Why? We're working desperation jobs. We make just enough so that we don't kick the bucket. But we're not thriving. We're definitely not enjoying our lives. No person that I talk to these days actually likes their job. And you're not supposed to. That's the great thing about desperation jobs. The name is baked right in. You're doing what you're currently doing because you have to. Because you have to do this. And there's no going anywhere else. It's not like you're going to get out of a crap job just because you don't like your current job. Your next job's going to be crap, and the job after that's going to be crap. Because for the most part, every single job in America that would be considered desperation is pound town. That's it. It's you, assume the position, and it's pound town. Every day, every work day, every night, you can't stop thinking about work. And that's the great thing about work, right? It doesn't stop when you leave at 5 or whatever time you stop being at work. You think about it. It is a torture. It is a torture that never stops. When I was working in retail, I could hear the noises that the self checkout machines made in the middle of the night because you're exposed to those noises 6 to 8 hours every day of the work week. It just doesn't stop. This morning, even though I'm technically on PTO today, I still woke up and I was coming back from the gym. And I was like, well, I better just check just to make sure nothing's broken at work. And of course, I had an executive level person reach out to me. It's like, hey, Millennial Steam, can you help me with something? Someone didn't do something months ago, and I'm reaching out to you directly. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I quietly closed the app and removed it from my phone. That's the only way that I'm going to get silence from work is I literally physically have to remove the app from my phone because there was around 10 messages there. And when you get an executive level message, those people don't believe in days off. They definitely, when it comes to work, those people are on like Donkey Kong. All right, let's get into talking point number one since it's taking me nearly 9 minutes to get to talking point number one. That's how you can tell I'm really passionate about a topic when I can't even get to the script, right? I remember when I was little, people used to say stuff like, if you work hard, you'll be okay. What a joke. I work hard every single day. I'm still broke. I have like 46 bucks in my account right now and a fridge with mustard, baking soda, and one cucumber. Yeah, I actually didn't know what to eat after the gym, so I rolled over to Megalomart and I got myself a rotisserie chicken and I just ate a whole rotisserie chicken. And I'm going to throw away whatever's left because rotisserie chicken from the grocery store only tastes good one time while it's still warm. I've tried to eat that crap after it cools down. No, thank you. We don't apply to jobs because we love them. We apply because we're scared and scared of eviction, of the lights getting shut off, of going back to sleep in your car, jobs aren't opportunities anymore. They're rescue rafts with holes in them. You take what you can and you pray it floats long enough to get you to the next one. Oh my God. I love that, ChatGPT. That is the best way I've heard work described in a long time. And sleeping in your car, well, that is even going to be a luxury. Because I've been pretty much in constant contact with Claire Parker on the road, the girl that left her roach infested apartment and moved into her tiny little car. Luckily, she's a tiny little person, so she fits in a tiny little car. But I was talking to one of the guys at work the other day who's potentially going to become homeless soon, and he was telling me about what it's going to be feel like to be over 6 feet tall and sleeping in his car because he knows he's heading that way. He doesn't make enough money to rent a real apartment or get a house. This dude knows that his next raft is going to be his car. And when you're describing your life living inside of a little Kia sedan, that sucks, man. Because guess what? Guess what all these people have in common? They don't have just one job. They have two, three. These people are working harder than any generation of American has. 2 to 3 jobs just to live in your car? Again, that's the luxury in this current economy. All right, chapter 2. Oh, I usually call them talking point number 2, but today it labeled it chapter 2 for some reason. You ever see those job listings that say entry level, $17 an hour, must have a bachelor's degree, 2 years of experience, bilingual, be available 24/7, lift 50 pounds, and smile while being yelled at? You, the only thing that could make this better is if they literally called it Pound Town. The sign over the corporation is called Pound Town. And you have to be smiling when Fleece shows up at 8 a.m. Must smile for Fleece. Fleece wants to see your pearly whites looking back at him while you're assuming the position. And that $17 an hour, they ain't wrong. The couple jobs that I applied to for desktop support before I got my current job, they wanted what they said right here. It was doing support for a website building company. And they offered, I think it was $17 or $16 an hour. And when I got that call from that recruiter, they're like, "Yeah, this is the best job ever. You know, it's really chill and lay back, and you know, you can make a commission by selling things to people that they don't need." It was the same exact BS that I heard when I started working for Insight. Oh, your career is just going to take off working here, and I'm like, this is a call center. What are you talking about? Even you can't believe your own hype. Look at your turnover rates. 150% in nearly every desperation job that you can get right now. 150% turnover rate doesn't mean you're offering great careers. It means that you've got to smile while you know that you're being exploited. Any person that's stupid enough to walk into any current job and believe your career is about to take off. I actually heard this exact expression from one of my Gen Zs last year, and I was like, "What are you talking about, man?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm just planning on just waiting for my career to take off so I can start my life and get married and buy a house." And I'm like, dude, you just graduated from college with a tech degree. You're not going anywhere. I mean, it was hilarious. The enthusiasm that some Gen Z has for this job market is frightening to me because look at Mello. I mean, she's a perfect example. Mello doesn't get excited about work. She knows she can't do her current job forever, but she's not excited about work. I mean, I was talking to her this morning, and she was just like totally mellow about work. She's just like, I go to work because I have to, not because I want to, not because I'm expecting a promotion or that cent raise that keeps coming up in a lot of the videos that I do. Even Chat GPT knows what raises look like out there. 30 cents as a merit raise, and they can even jip you out of that raise if they want. And they do. Last year and the year before, of course, they don't want to give you a thin dime more. They don't want to give you 5 cents more. The first year that I was working at Pound Town, they tried to offer me a quarter. A quarter. And I was like, what is this? Even McDonald's offers $1. I think Mello's last raise was $2, and she works in the service industry. Like 25 cents. You have to just laugh at these people. And then they call you ungrateful for that 25 cents. Like, I always look at my coworker's face when he tells me about his raise, and I'm like, you mean the 30 cents? He's like, it's better than nothing, is what he always says to me. Anyhow, let's get back on the script. Cool. So entry-level jobs just means you're gonna exploit you and pretend it's your fault. I had a manager once. She told me people should be grateful just to have a job. I said, ma'am, I'm not grateful to drown slower than other people. That's not my gratitude. That's my desperation disguised as loyalty. Ooh. When I worked at Walmart, they would always come up to the employees that were disgruntled and come up to you with this speech every single time. They didn't deviate from the script, from the management 101 class that they had to take. Doesn't Walmart pay your bills? Shouldn't you work hard for Walmart, since Walmart is the reason why you can afford to eat? And they would go on and on about how much they would like that you would work harder. And then the second you mention a raise, they're like, oh, we don't have that here. Wages at Walmart only go up if we're forced to raise them by the government. Minimum wage is all we have here. You want more? Go find a better job. They would tell you that. The general manager would say this all the time. I don't want people working this desperation job. Of course, he didn't say desperation. If their heart isn't into it, he only wants people that want to be there. Now, you and I both know that's complete stupidity, work propaganda, right? No one's going to show up at a job that pays back then $9 an hour with any care. I mean, to say that we recycled people at that job, oh my God. I have worked some jobs where you're just like, do you not know what it means? I mean, I was just walking around in a Walmart half an hour ago. Do you know what it means to put on that uniform? It means that you have failed to the nth degree in your life. You can't fail any harder. There is no worse job than working at Walmart, because it's not just humiliating, it's public humiliation. There's all kinds of different humiliations, right? Like a judge could tell you that you did something wrong and you have to hold a sign by the side of the road. But when you're wearing that blue uniform with that name tag, it is a public display of humiliation. If you're working in a drive-thru at McDonald's right now, putting the fries in the bag, it's public humiliation. Any public-facing job is public humiliation, because every person in the community knows how much money you make. Every person in the community knows that you couldn't get a better job. Your parents, your friends, your teachers, your former coworkers. That's the hardest one for me. When I had to start working at Kroger's, and my former boss from the university came by and he saw me wearing that uniform, he's like, man, what happened to you? Are you okay? That's our first thought when we interact with a person that's fallen that far down in society. Like I was driving over to go to the gym this morning, and I saw this homeless lady, and she had her shopping cart next to a bus stop, and she was just laid out on the sidewalk next to it, her arms out, her legs out. She looked like someone had just come over and just bopped her on the head. She was just laid out on the sidewalk. And I drove by like an hour later, and someone had pulled over and was checking up on her. He was actually like, he was crouched over her, just like making sure she was okay. It's 115 degrees, people. I don't want to be laying out on the sidewalk in Arizona. But that's symbolic. That's what it feels like to work in retail. You're just laid out by work. It's not anything that you can try to hide. You can't hide your humiliation. I mean, they can make it even worse by dressing you up in holiday decor with lights on your hat or lights around your neck just to instill humiliation right down to the core. But at the end of the day, the Soul Suck 3000 has pulled your soul right out of your tight little rear end and into the Soul Suck 3000's vacuum because you have nothing left at the end of the day. The humiliation takes your humanity away. All right, let's see how ChatGPT ended this one. Let's see. He's got a bunch of chapters. Okay, here we go. Closing monologue. I don't want to live like this anymore. Not chasing jobs that make me feel worthless. Not apologizing for being broke. Not fighting to survive in a country that pretends I'm lazy while I work myself into the ground. You ask me how every job in America became a desperation job? Because they made hope unaffordable. But if we all feel this way, if we're all this tired, this angry, this close to breaking, then maybe we're not broken. Maybe we're waking up. I've been trying to get people to wake up on this channel for 20 years. I think, and this goes back to that video that I made the other day on how people are opting out of life. Most people who are poor, like me, your recreation is simply tuning out. Sleep has become the one thing the rich can't take away from us. When we sleep, because we're so tired, it's the only vacation you're going to get as a pro. And I'm saying that as a person who's going to go take a nap in a little while because I'm not sure how the Walmart rotisserie chicken is going to hit my stomach, and I don't want to be out and about when I get the Hershey squirts. So I got to take it easy. Got to go on my vacation where I can go anywhere I want as long as I don't have to spend a thin dime that I don't have.